Para mí, para recordar todo, se me hace muy difícil
It's really hard for me to talk about Sebastian because of the bond that we had.
In June 2021, we saw the tragic and unfortunate death of Sebastian Francisco Perez, a farm worker, a community member, a spouse who died working out in the fields as a result of heat stress. We believe that his death was completely avoidable if the certain protections were in place, like access to water, access to shade, and not having to work in conditions where temperatures were exceeding 100 degrees.
Y ese día llegué como a las
On this
12.
given day, I had gotten home from work around 12 or 1, and that's when I got a phone call that Sebastian had fallen and that they needed somebody there who was a relative. I grabbed my keys as fast as I could and I ran out. By the time the paramedics came, his pulse was gone, he was not responsive, and it was a very devastating feeling, something that really impacted my life.
Él me empezaba a contar muchas cosas como...
He always talked about his dreams and aspirations, wanting to own a house, where he could bring in his family and give them that American life, right? But I told him, that the only way to achieve that was through hard work, right, and sacrifice.
As a result of climate change, we've seen an increase in heat waves, droughts, and other weather conditions. Farm workers and forestry workers are facing some of the increasing heat here in Oregon. A lot of these workers are left without many protections or standards in place to ensure that they're able to work in a way that's comfortable and productive to them. We're concerned, and I'm very concerned for their health because we don't know if they're gonna have sufficient breaks, water, or if they're gonna make it home that day, and if they're gonna get sick as a result of the increasing temperatures.
El calor nos cansa más.
The heat is very debilitating. It's important to stay hydrated and in the shadows as much as you can. However, the current rules don't allow for that, so it's important to implement rules that allow our people to, take those water breaks, to stand under a shaded area if need be, and not to outwork their bodies beyond exhaustion so that we don't suffer this kind of tragic loss again.
PCUN is Oregon's farm worker and forestry worker union. At PCUN, we help empower farm workers, forestry workers, and working Latinx families to ensure that they're involved in the political process and elevate and improve their quality of life here in Oregon. So PCUN has been involved with the heat and smoke rulemaking process that is being led by Oregon OSHA. And in this process, we are making sure that farm worker voices and experiences are being heard and elevated throughout the rulemaking process, and making sure that the rules and the standards in place are being protective and taking into consideration the health impact that many of the forest workers and farm workers face as they continue to toil through the extreme weather events that we've been facing in Oregon.
Pido que los líderes que...
This is why I urge our leaders to work to create protections for us, the same way we have been showing up for our communities, for our country, to put food on the table, even though they might see us as less than. And that's why I ask that, they take these things into consideration and give out protections for us.
Estos mensajes, si ellos ven o escuchan...
I just want to say that the work that we do is very low paying. We struggle to survive day to day. We need protections, we need higher wages, and we need to be not considered second-class citizens.